Welcome to Jazz Time. Jazz Time is an online store that buys, sells, and trades authentic luxury watches. We make these videos so our customers can easily choose the best watch for themselves in the comfort of their own home. If you like this watch, do yourself a favor and click on the link in the description below to buy it at the lowest price anywhere online. Today, I'm going to be reviewing the Audemars Piguet Royal Oak Self-Winding. Reference 15510ST.OO.1320ST.10. It has a gray dial and a stainless steel bracelet. I want to talk to you about the bezel, the dial, the case, the bracelet, the movement, try it on, give you a bit of history, and give you my thoughts. So let's get started. This is the Royal Oak. It's arguably one of the most recognizable watches in the world. What I mean is that anytime somebody sees this case or this shape of watch, it's instantly recognizable as an Audemars Piguet. In fact, Audemars Piguet is the first watch brand to popularize a stainless steel sports luxury watch. They did so in 1972, and the creator of this Royal Oak was the gentleman named Gerald Genta. He created the Royal Oak in 1972, and it became the world's first luxury sports watch. Soon thereafter, Patek Philippe copied the design and made it their own, and that's what turned into the Nautilus, also an iconic watch. But it did come after the Royal Oak, in 1976, I believe, and therefore many other brands started to follow suit. And it gave a rise to other very popular watches, such as the Rolex Daytona stainless steel and many others, the Richard Mille, and so on and so forth. But Audemars Piguet, the Royal Oak, that's really the start of it all, the granddaddy, you could say, and this is that watch, the Royal Oak. So, the Royal Oak, as I said, most recognizable watch in the world anywhere across any other brands, maybe only rivaled by the Rolex Datejust. In fact, I would argue that the Rolex Datejust is the most recognizable, and the Audemars Piguet, the Royal Oak, is the number 2. Anyways, this watch in particular is 41 millimeters, and that is from my thumb to my index finger, going from the 4 o'clock to the 2 o'clock position, the longest distance across the bezel. The Royal Oak does come in several different sizes. It comes in 33, 34, 37 for the ladies, and the 33 is going to get discontinued soon. It was only quartz. The 34 is the ladies' small, the 37 is the ladies' large, the 37 can also be worn for men who have a smaller wrist, and Audemars also makes a 39, which is much less common. It's called the Jumbo. It does not have a second hand, and it's also thinner. Odd that they call it the Jumbo. But there is also the 41. So for all intents and purposes, AP is making the Royal Oak in sizes 37 and 41 for men. And I guess you could technically consider the 39, but again, that is rare. But anyways, this is the largest one that they make for men's. And here you have it. Now, what are some things that I can tell you about it? Well, aside from obviously the beautiful way that this case is designed, it's unmistakably Audemars. It also has a very good thickness to it. Let me turn it on its side, and you can see that it has the thickness, a very thin thickness actually, of 10.5 millimeters. To give you a bit of reference on that, the Rolex Datejust is approximately 12 millimeters, so it's thinner than that, which allows it to be worn under the cuff. Now, this is still a sports watch, but it's less sporty than an offshore. Okay, now what are some other things that I can point out to you about this? If you look at the polishing and the angles of it on the case, you realize that, of course, it's done to perfection. Look at the top of the case. It's done in a satin finish. Look at the side of the case. When I turn it on its side, it has a high polish, and it's done expertly and, of course, to perfection. Now let's talk about the bezel here. The bezel is an octagonal bezel, perhaps the most recognizable part of it. It's kind of like the Rolex Datejust being a fluted bezel, except Audemars, I think, looks better, and it's also octagonal. And, well, what are some things that you can notice about it? Well, it does have a hexagonal screw. Now, how do you turn a hexagonal screw? You don't. What actually you do is you screw it in from the back side, and the top, the hexagonal screw that you see, which is just put in the same direction, you can see it here, that is the acceptor screw. You notice that the top is, again, a satin finish, and the sides of the bezel are actually a high polish. And if you look even closer, you can notice a gasket that's sandwiched between there, because you need a gasket anytime you want to have two metal parts and make sure that water doesn't get in there. Now, this porthole design, as Gerald Genta called it, is actually inspired by a scuba gear. Back in the day, in the 1970s, scuba gear, they had to wear those big helmets, and it kinda looked like this, and Gerald Genta had inspiration of that and drew it onto this watch, which is what you see here. Now, this dial is a gray dial, and it has this grand tapisserie pattern with a white gold applied hour marker and Royal Oak hands with luminescent coating. Now, I said a lot of funny words. What does all that mean? It means that this dial has this kind of waffle look, and it's surprisingly very difficult to make. It's not like your standard dial, which is just a flat color. No. This has a grand tapisserie or waffle-looking dial, and it's very difficult to make. And it kind of gives this watch, at least in my opinion, sort of a 3D look to it. It gives the watch more depth, all right? Now, AP is making several different dial colors, at least of 2023. They're making your standard black and white and kind of what you would consider a gray, a little bit off color. It's kind of between a black and white. Of course, gray, duh. They also make other special dials like blue, which is selling at a higher premium, and also green, which is selling at an even higher premium. Interestingly, the gray is selling at a premium, but it's not much different than the black and white. And if you asked me if I had to choose between the black and white, or if I had to choose between the black and white and gray, I would probably go with the gray, considering that it is a little bit different. It has sort of a different character to it. So to me, it's a little bit more special just than a simple black or simple white. Now, let me bring your attention to the bracelet. You'll see that the bracelet is integrated so well into the case that it actually looks as if it is one part. Now, that's one of the things I really like about AP is that they are expertly engineered the bracelet such that it looks like it belongs as part of the watch. In fact, that is true because this bracelet will not fit on any other watch because, first of all, the taper. When you see the case, it goes from thicker to smaller. I believe it's 24 millimeters at the top and it goes all the way down to like 16 or something. But it's quite a big taper, which makes this watch look like it was all designed by one person and just by one creator, and not like they stuck a bunch of parts together. And that's what I like about it. And actually, that was the case. Now, what else you could notice about this bracelet is look at the polish. I mean, I would have to say that all of the bracelets everywhere in every brand, I have to say that the Royal Oak AP is the best bracelet, and I will tell you why. First of all, it is the polishing. The edges here have a high polish, and that's beautiful. The top has the satin finish, which is beautiful as well. But then look at the interlinks, the links that are going in between. There's a high polish on those interlinks, which allows the watch to glimmer and have a very beautiful play of light. Now, on the older versions, the bracelet was much thicker, and that was kind of hard to see. Now, the bracelet has gotten much thinner, and that's what I mean with that it has this taper. The way that the edge comes down are much more tapered than they were before. And also, the thickness of the bracelet is much thinner. And now you might think, oh, what's the big deal? Well, if you actually had the old one, you would know that the bracelet is a bit thinner, but it's much more wearable. It's not clunky. They just did a really good job on it. And, you know, since I guess we are talking about the dial now, I do want to say is that the 15510ST replaced the 15500ST. So basically the 15500ST was approximately 2017 to 2022, a 5-year run. And then they produced a 50th year anniversary, which is the same as this one, except it didn't have the 50th rotor on it. And what's the difference in that dial? Well, you know what? The 15500, the older generation, the hour markers were too small. They were too short, which left too much space in the dial. I noticed that. I swear, even before AP released a new one, I noticed that and I made a comment. And I thought, wow, I really don't like this watch because there's just too much empty space in the very center of the watch. And I also thought, you know what? The bracelet of this is a bit too fat. And then when I saw it, I saw the new one release and they actually fixed those specific things. I wonder if they watch these YouTube videos and realize, hey, you know what? That Jazz Time guy knows what he's talking about. Let's do that. Probably. You know what? I should probably get some free AP stuff for this. So you know what? When you look at this dial, you realize, hey, you know what? With those hour markers like this, it fills the space and it doesn't leave so much space in the center and it makes it perfectly balanced. So good job, AP, for watching those YouTube videos and learning from Jazz Time. Now, let's move on. We've talked about the bracelet. Now let's talk about the movement. The movement here is a caliber 4302 movement. It has 257 parts, a diameter of 32 millimeters, and 32 joules. Okay, fair enough. Now, what's so special about it? Well, AP has actually been doing this movement for quite some time. It was used in their older generation, the 15500, and it is also used in this one. It's the same movement. It's also the same one, I believe, that's used in their code 1159s. And there's no reason they should change the caliber on it because it's a perfectly good working caliber and it fits. Before, I might remind you, the generation even before 15500, which was the 15400, had a very thin movement. In fact, I believe the diameter of that movement was 28 millimeters. This one is 32. So it didn't quite fill the whole back, and it just didn't look good, to be honest. It didn't have this cutout rotor. It just didn't look great. But with this new one, the new caliber, it looks fantastic. It fills the space, it looks modern, and you know what? If I compare this actually to Patek, its competitor, the Nautilus, and you compare that, for example, like the chronograph, or the travel time Nautilus, or any of them really, you know what? The movement here looks better. Why do I say that? Because a cutout rotor is very modern. The old style of having a big block rotor is out. That is old news. It doesn't look good anymore. Nobody does that, and people who do, it just doesn't look good. I'm sorry, Patek, but it just doesn't look good. So I have to say that this movement simply looks better. All right, and that is that. Let's move on to me giving you my thoughts and me trying this on. So I am 200 pounds, 6 feet tall, and let me try it on my wrist. As you can see, the 41 millimeter looks absolutely perfect on me. I'm exactly the kind of person that could and should wear this size of watch. Now, I want to give you just some basic guidelines on who I think should be wearing this watch. It's just guidelines, and that's just for me having sold hundreds of these watches. I kind of know. And that's to say, if you were 150 pounds or smaller, you should go with a 37 millimeter, and that would be fine. It's actually cheaper too, by the way. I would say 150, 160 pounds is the borderline. You can go on your choice, of course, but if you're 160 pounds or greater, or a 7-inch wrist or larger, usually people having a 7-inch wrist is somebody who's around 160 pounds, give or take, and that's what I say. So let's say you're 160 pounds or greater, then probably you should go with the 41 millimeter because it covers the entire wrist and you can see mostly the head and just a little touch of the bracelet, and that's the perfect fit for you. And yeah, that is the person that should wear this specific watch. Now, what do I think about it? Well, this watch is retailing at least of 2023 for around $28,000 plus tax. It's going to be in like the low 30s after everything. And we're selling it at Jazz Time for the market price. It's an all-around low 40s at the moment. It's selling above retail, but then again, this is AP's most popular, most desirable watch, so it makes sense that it is selling above retail. It's kind of like getting a sports watch from Rolex, like a Pepsi GMT or something like that, or like a Submariner. It's going to have a premium to it. Now, what are some situations, or why would you want to buy this watch? Well, I would suggest somebody who's looking for a sporty watch, but not a complete sports watch, because it's not like a real offshore, but something that could be worn in a dressy fashion. This would be it. But it is still sporty. It has that stainless steel and octagonal bezel, so it still has a sporty touch to it. That is the kind of person that I could see wearing this watch. And if you don't want to be spending upwards of $100,000 on a watch, on complications and open work or whatever else, then a stainless steel watch that you could wear every day that isn't super expensive and still can match everything that you wear, whether it's outside doing sporty things or in a dress fashion, then I really think this watch checks all of those boxes. To me, this is a very wearable for a day-to-day use watch. Very expensive daily wearable watch, but still very wearable for every day. And if you do want to buy it at the lowest price anywhere online, there's only one place to go, and that's jazztime.com. That's JAZTIME.com.
If you want to find out more about the watch you just saw in the video, you can just click below on Show More to see the full description. Then you can check the link next to model as seen in video, click on it, and you will get to the proper page where you can see all the details. If you're watching on a mobile phone, you have to click on the arrow down on the right hand side below the video to see the full description. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. If you would like to share this video with your friends, you can use the share button below and share it on any platform you like. If you have questions, constructive feedback, want to tell us about some mistakes or misspeaks, just write a comment below. If you want to see more videos like this, you should subscribe to our channel and visit our channel page where you can find all the videos. And if you're interested in a specific watch brand, you can check out our playlists. If you want to check the price for a watch or want to buy one, remember at jazztime.com you always get a steep discount, so you should check the prices with us. If you want to know the price for a specific watch, just go to Google, type in JazzTime, plus the brand, model, and the details you're interested in, and Google will find the right page for you. Thank you for watching.